G'day everyone and welcome to another DUC Migrating to Australia podcast. My name's Wes Zamt and I have the pleasure of hosting this podcast. I'm joined by Laura and Tom who are currently in the UK. So Laura and Tom, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
You are very, very welcome. Now, this is interesting because you're not here in Australia. You're currently in the UK, but we're literally counting down the hours, aren't we? So when do you, Laura, just run through what you're doing now, when are you leaving? Just give us a bit of background.
Yeah, sure. So it is Thursday today, the 16th of May, and we are flying in 2 days' time on the 18th of May. So we're very much in the thick of trying to fit all of our belongings into 2 suitcases each and kind of just surrounded by stuff at the moment.
And you're feeling under the pump, or are you like prepared, or what are you feeling?
I think we're feeling okay. The way we see it is if it fits in the case, it's coming. If it doesn't, then maybe it'll come later, or it's being given away or taken to a charity shop or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I think we're feeling okay. It's just more the weight limit. We're just shoving between suitcases.
We'll do a cross check. Tom, how's she doing, mate? She's doing all right, or she's
first weigh-in she was over, but happy days. I had half a case spare, so yeah, we're all good now after a few tries. So yeah, we're all good. I think we're getting there.
I've got to ask, what's in the cases?
Just clothes, literally clothes and
some keepsake bits and shoes, and that's it.
Wow. Well, okay, so you're leaving on Saturday, but obviously the journey didn't start 3 minutes ago. It started a long time ago. When I can actually tell you the date that you actually signed up with us, guys, which was the 26th of the 1st, 2021. That's when you guys initiated us. And you're currently, for the listeners out there, Laura and Tom have got a 190 visa, which was granted earlier this year. Guys, who was the main applicant?
That was me.
Yep. And under what occupation, Tom?
It was ICT Customer Support Officer.
Cool. And how did you go about it? Obviously, we assisted with the process, but what was the skills assessment like for you?
Yeah, it was all right. We had great help from you guys. Obviously, it was with TRA, so just kind of gathering up the documentation and a few statements from ex-employees, and submitted that off, and waited a couple of months I think for that to come back. But relatively painless to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's cool. And Laura, you were involved in this process, or you just say to Tom, your skills assessment, get it done, or did you just do it together?
No, it was done together. The admin side of things was very much down to me. So when Tom was like, oh yeah, it was relatively painless. Well, we actually had to get in touch with contact employers from years ago to be like, oh, do you have pay slips from them? Because he hadn't kept them.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a bit of digging around for some paperwork, and I sat on the floor and scanned. But I mean, it wasn't as tough as some of the other skills assessments where you have to be assessed doing things and stuff like that. But, it was just some admin. But yeah,
it sounds just like what Tom said. It was pretty straightforward, eh, mate?
Yeah.
But Tom, anyway, I knew straight away when he said TRA assessment, and it was pretty straightforward. I had a fair idea, Laura, that you'd be you'd be the one on the ground there digging through that paperwork and contacting employers. I'll always, stand by that the skills assessment for anything with TRA or trade or anything like that is usually the hardest part of the process. Tom, you had to do an English test, mate. What score did you get?
I did. I got proficient. Yeah, pretty good marks. I think I only actually dropped about 5 marks overall. So yeah, pretty good with that one.
Yeah, happy days. And which English test did you do, mate? The IELTS or the PTE?
Yeah, PTE, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, so you guys got skills assessment, did everything like that. We put in the expression of interest. You got your visa. You're leaving on Saturday. Where are you arriving to? Which state of Oz?
Brisbane we're going to.
Brisbane.
Yes.
Now, I know, Laura, you're a little bit famous because you've got a YouTube channel. So you've been around. You've done it. You guys did working holiday visas. Let's go back to where it all began, this journey for Australia. So Just run through what it was like coming to Oz on a working holiday visa, and just give the listeners a bit of a background about how you did all that.
Yeah, it was back in 2017 to 2019 we did that, and I can't remember what that visa is, a 471 or something. But at that point, it was only 2 years you could get, and the age cutoff was 30. And Tom was getting close to 30, so we kind of thought, well, if we're going to do it, it's now or never. So we flew over and we first landed in Brisbane. And I think that's kind of where our want to go back to Brisbane stems from. And yeah, then we got a car and we travelled around a little bit. We did dairy farming for our regional work because you had to do that then. I don't think you have to do it anymore now. So yeah, we milked cows for 3 months, which was an experience.
Yeah,
down in Murray River region, regional Victoria. And yeah, then we just work and travel. We built our camper van. Sorry,
just to butt in there, Laura. So you and Tom did this together?
Yeah, we both went over together.
Okay, so you were already a couple, or your friends back then, or you were a couple when you come over and did this?
We've been together for 12 years.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, we went over together because it was, the age cutoff was kind of ticking along a little bit. So yeah, just the two of us.
That's awesome. All right, so who was better at milking the cows?
Probably Tom.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of both hard work. My farm was bigger. I was milking up to 1,000 cows twice a day. So yeah, quite a few cows there.
Obviously, they put them in a machine or something, do they?
So you kind of round the cows up. They go to the dairy, and there's what they call
it's like a big rotary kind of table thing. Yeah. You just put the machines on. They go round to the side. You take the machines off if they finish milking, and then clean up. Really.
How do you know when the cow's finished? Does it just stop?
Yeah, just no more milk comes out of them.
Yeah, the table, the rotary table, kind of spins at a certain speed, so it's kind of they get on, you put the machine on. Yeah, it takes probably a minute to 2 minutes to kind of get around to the other side, and then they're pretty much done then, and you take it off and off they go.
I was hoping they'd sort of give you a little cheeky wink or something, be like, "Yep, finished." No, not the case.
No, they might poo in. No, I had that a few times.
All right, cool. So, what car were you travelling in? Did you have the one car the whole time, or did you sort of rotate it?
No, first of all, we bought a Honda CR-V, and we kitted out with a makeshift bed in the back, so it's kind of cramped, but we kind of slept in there most nights for probably the best part of 3 months, I'd say.
It was so small when I look back at it now. We see Honda CR-Vs around, and I'm just like, how did we sleep in there and make that work? But we did. It was good fun. So
yeah, I'm not a tall guy, and looking back, I couldn't sleep in a straight line. I had to be at an angle, my legs poking to one side. But we made it work.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's such a good way to do it as well. Did you have any? Did you ever park at any random places or anything like that, or wake up somewhere that was just mind blowing?
I don't know so much in the car. We had a camper van in the second year, and that was better. We did pretty much a full lap of Australia, and we'd park up in some really awesome places there, kind of near national parks, on top of gorges, or near beaches. And we was couch surfing a couple of times, and I remember we were up in Broome and we were staying on this guy's land. And he was really close to the beach, and every now and then the lagoon would flood in, so you go swimming and stuff, and we'd go fishing on the beach. So we did camp in some cool places, but we also just kind of sometimes camped in car parks because that's what there was. So we just rolled with it.
Some kind of dodgy truck stops as well, kind of waking up surrounded by road trains for the cows, and pretty noisy at 3 a.m. when you wake up. But it was cool.
Cows might have wanted to be. They might have wanted to be milked, mate. You guys might have made a name. Cows jumping around Ostachatias.
We stayed in some pretty epic places though. I think one of my favourites was down in Western Australia, 2 People's Bay, kind of the bottom region.
Yeah.
Woke up one morning to ourselves and look out, and there's kind of whales 100 metres from shore. So we're just sitting there from the van watching these southern right whales just kind of do their thing
with their calves. That was amazing actually.
Yeah, that is cool, isn't it? Did you get kangaroos on the beach as well where you were there?
I don't know if we did, we went to Lucky Bay in Esperance, which is famous for it. I think we saw one kangaroo. And everyone was like, what? You only saw one? I'm like, yep. I don't know where they were when we were there. But
did you climb Frenchman's Peak? That little mountain there in Lucky Bay?
Yes.
Did we?
I think we did.
Yeah,
I think
it's very easy to climb. It's like an hour, I reckon, not even.
Yeah, we definitely would have done that one if it was easy.
Yeah. The easy climb will do it.
Yeah, it's good because you can drive, obviously, for the listeners out there, Lucky Bay and Esperance is one of the most magical parts of Australia in WA down the bottom there, but you can drive on the beaches. It's where the sand's so fine that it actually squeaks underneath you, and it's so white and clear. It's just magic. Like I actually I lived there for about a year, guys, in the hostel when I was traveling around. It was just wicked. It was so, coming from Victoria, you just never see beaches like that there. But yeah, kangaroos on the beach all the time, and yeah, it's such a cool experience. The bottom bit. What was your favourite sort of state or area when you were travelling?
I actually really like the Northern Territory because it's just so different to everywhere else. And it was super outdoorsy, and it kind of pushed us out of our comfort zone a bit. And we did all the national parks, and we saw Uluru, which was incredible. Like, we drove 3 days from Brisbane to Uluru. Yeah, I just think the Northern Territory is really cool. I think it's very underrated, and it's easy to not bother to go there. But I was really glad we did, and managed to catch up with an old workmate who'd emigrated out there to Darwin, so we stayed with her as well. And yeah, really cool. But everywhere's so different. Like, I always say to people, Australia's kind of got a bit of everything. You've got the mountains, you've got snow if you want it, you've got massive desert national parks, and you've got the incredible coastlines. So it's so different. But yeah, I think the Northern Territory is really cool.
Yeah, it is. I love the Northern Territory as well.
Yeah.
It's all good. And you're so right. It's so different. So that would have been a pretty cool trip going from Brisbane. You went obviously straight up the guts then, like straight inland?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's 3 days, guys. That's not like that's actually 3 days of driving. That's yeah, like pretty much. What were you doing? Like 10, 12 hours a day in driving or more?
Not even that, to be fair. We had like a 2001 camper. It done like 300,000 Ks, so we were taking it pretty steady, to be honest.
Yeah, so it's second engine.
Yeah, probably like 8, no more than 8 maybe, on a good day.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's actually tiring as well, but it's so nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once you get in the swing of it, it's not like you're waiting there, even though it's kind of similar scenery all the time, but it's just, you just get up and do it again the next day, and it's just nice. Like, it's hard to explain, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really cool though. It's an experience, and I'm really glad we did it.
Yeah, definitely would recommend it to anyone out there if they wanted to do a lap of Australia. Just do it. It's a long way, but 100%.
So, Laura, you mentioned that you're working holiday visa to about the end of 2019, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, when you were doing when you were on the work and holiday visa, was it at this point? Did you come back to the UK and think, "Oh, we're going to get out there permanently," or did you try UK life for a bit, or how did it work to the talk start to get into a position where you are now, a couple of days away from flying to Australia on a permanent residency visa?
Well, when we got back, there was kind of a couple of months, then COVID hit, and then of course nobody was doing anything anyway. But I think when we flew back home, we were instantly like, why are we leaving, kind of thing. Like, if we didn't have to leave, we wouldn't have left. I know they do 3-year working holiday visas. If that was the option at the time, we would have easily done the 3rd year as well. And I guess it was probably, it never really left. We never really spoke about it too much. And it's probably about a year later, after we'd moved in together, because we went back to living with our parents when we first got back home because we had no money. So we saved up, moved in together, just rented a little place. And I guess like 6 months after then, we were kind of like, well, COVID's here, we're locked down. Do we really want to be here anyway? No, not really. Let's get on with things. And I was scrolling through Facebook, as you do, and I came across the ad for the DUC and your migration webinars. So I kind of like booked us in for that, and we watched it, and then I booked us in for a call with Jenny and realised it was actually something we could potentially do via Tom and his skill. So we kind of just decided to do it, really.
That's
cool.
It
just took a long time, but yeah, that was it, really.
And then because obviously migration's expensive. I mean, our fees are really good.
Yeah.
And I'm not just being cheeky by saying that, they are actually very good, very competitive. But when you're looking at it and you're having that meeting, Laura, do you feel, oh my God, that's very expensive to get out there? Or how did you guys sort of take in that quote we send out?
I just don't think we cared, really. We were just like, yeah, we can make it work. We were both working full time, and we knew it's what we wanted to do. We knew we're confident that the opportunities that Australia is going to give to us are going to exceed the worry about paying for it. And ultimately we did actually end up paying for our visa twice, because we lodged for the 491 before we were offered to apply for the 190. So we spent a bit more than we, on paper technically needed to, but I just don't think we cared very much. And because it was all paid in stages, you do this skills assessment, you pay for that bit, and then you do the English test and you pay for that bit, and then it's all kind of spread out. It was fine for us.
It's like we're that, by the way, because obviously, it's not our fees you pay twice; it's the government fees you're doing. But at the end of the day, it's 190 visas. It just gives you that little bit more. I guess, especially when you're moving to Brisbane, now that's an option on the 190, where on a 491 you wouldn't be able to stay in Sydney, Melbourne, or Brisbane for the first 3 years. I think it's kind of cool that you did that, even though, like you say, it costs you more in the end. But it's a good thing. What about Laura? You said before that you're going to have opportunities, right, with Oz, and that's why you want to crack on. What are those opportunities in your mind? What are they?
Well, I just think it's a better work-life balance. And so when we were on a working holiday visa, I did kind of do normal jobs out there as well, aside from the dairy farm, which we had to do, or the regional work. But when we lived in Brisbane, I was in an office job, and we were in Sydney for 6 months, and I was in an office job there. And I just feel like the work-life balance was a lot better. The pay was a lot better. I was in my job back in the UK after I got back for 4 years. And for me, the pay didn't match Australia until I was 3 years in, and a few pay rises in. So for me, and I think for us, both of us looking at jobs as we are now, the pay's better. So we got a better opportunity to be able to get property and just not worry about stuff as much, and just be able to proper crack on. We're both in our 30s, and I can't imagine being able to afford to buy a house where we live in the UK half as easy as we hope to be able to do that in Australia. I think it's just better opportunities for us. We're hoping anyway. I might be seeing it all through rose-tinted glasses, but we've been doing a lot of digging, and I feel relatively confident that we're going to be all right and be able to do what we want and just enjoy the lifestyle as well.
Yeah, look, I think, Laura, you are, you've done lots of research and everything like that, because you said you got the YouTube videos and all that you've been doing when you're traveling and everything. So I think that houses are expensive no matter where you live. It's just part of life now, isn't it? We're running out of sort of land, I guess, and there's lots of houses, so it is challenging. But when you get here, so you leave on Saturday, so you'll arrive in Australia on Monday probably, because you guys are behind us already. So you arrive on Monday. So when you get here, like what's the first thing you do when you get out the airport? Where would you go?
So we've got a Airbnb booked for 1 month in Northgate in Brisbane. So we're going to head there. We've got a pre-booked Uber for all our luggage as well. So it should be fairly straightforward, kind of hopping off a plane after 21 hours and just kind of getting there and crashing there and trying to stay awake to fight the jet lag, I guess.
Yeah. And boring things like going to get our bank sorted out and buying a SIM card and probably eating somewhere that we've been craving because we really like the food in Brisbane. We've got a couple of our favourite restaurants there, so we might drag ourselves over to there for some.
You're going to have to name drop them now, obviously. The favourite food, Laura?
Well, we love them. It's a burger place called Miss K's. We love them. So we hopefully get ourselves over there and get ourselves a decent burger.
It's funny because I've had conversations with people and they'll be like, "Oh, the first thing I'm going to do is get a dim sim," and I'm like, "Wow, a dim sim!" And they'll be like the chicken salt from KFC.
Yeah.
Things you think, oh my god, a cherry ripe bar, can of Solo. But the list could keep going, actually. But yeah, I think they're the things, because you sort of, you were attached to Australia. You did a lot in Australia in those couple of years, which is good. So you've sort of got that little sense. And why Brizzy? Like, what was what was the reason for choosing Brizzy as a destination?
Yeah, I think the fact we kind of went there first of all on our working holiday visa, we felt settled there. We spent about 6 months there, I think 5-6 months, kind of working and living, and yeah, we liked that it offered us everything we wanted, but it wasn't as crazy as maybe some other cities.
Yep.
Sydney, for example. I've got a friend that lives out there now. He says it's grown obviously quite a bit within the past kind of 6 years, but it's it still sounds pretty good. So that's really why, to be honest.
Brisbane's awesome. Well, lots of people we do. I'm surprised you actually got through the podcast list, because Lisa seems to only be inviting guests who come or live in South Australia. Seems to be a trend at the moment. Very biased. I feel like I'm doing a bloody a podcast just on South Australia. But anyway, but Brisbane's good because you're so close to the Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, and that just, even though they're so close, they're so different, and you get to experience that. Like, what you do on the weekend is just so different in each one of those destinations.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's why we like it as well. Even though Brizzy's not really got beaches itself, you've got, like I say, the coast either side, and also like North Stradbroke Island is really nice, and you can go inland to the hinterland and national parks and things. It's got a bit of everything, and it's kind of just, I think people have described it as a bit more of like a country town rather than like a shiny city as such, and it does feel like that. It's nice and relaxed there.
Yeah, it's good. It's beautiful. It's a nice little part of the world. All right, sweet. So, work-wise, when are you looking to start work, guys?
I mean, I've not been working for a couple of months because I quit my job because I got sick of it, and I'm quite enjoying unemployed life, but that cannot continue. We are looking at jobs now, and the issue is they want you to start tomorrow, which we don't particularly want to do. We literally can't start tomorrow, but we want to be able to get ourselves settled for a week or two at least. So I guess soonish.
It's the start of June, early to mid-June. Yeah. Fingers crossed, but we want to kind of get our feet on the ground first and
enjoy it.
Laura, you've only got a couple more days till you can actually say, "Oh, I can start tomorrow." How's it? Like, it's money, it's double putting in, paying 2 sets of visa fees, it's effort, going back down, and when you think back, getting all the documents all lined up for the skills assessment, Tom rocking up doing the English test. I mean, you must have a pretty good sense of fulfillment right now, where you're thinking, "Shit, we're so close. I can smell the hot Brisbane air." How are you feeling? You must be buzzing.
Yeah, like a bit of everything, I think, because obviously it's saying goodbye to a lot of people, and I have seen people for the last time now because it is 2 days to go. And like, my sister lives abroad, so she's been over, so I've had to say goodbye to her properly, which was hard. But yeah, it is getting exciting now, and it is weird to be like, oh yeah, the day after tomorrow is the day we fly, which is mad after kind of being in this process for 3 years. And I was forever hopeful that it would never be 3 years, but it was. So yeah, it is really exciting. But
crazy,
a little bit nerve-wracking.
Such a long-winded process. Obviously, you throw in a pandemic, which no one can expect, but it's nuts. And so, how'd the family and mates take it then? Obviously, you're saying goodbye. Like, are they like, good riddance, or are they kind of like, please, don't go, or can we come and visit? How's it been left with it?
I hope they're not good riddance. No, I think everyone's been all right. I think our family were surprised that we came back from the working holiday visa, and they've all known since day dot as well. We've not kept it from them. We've been open about it. Same with my friends. For me, my friends live abroad anyway, so we're kind of scattered all over the place, which is nice because they kind of know how it is. They've kind of gone through the whole moving away from people and family, so that's quite nice. But everyone's been pretty good. There's been some ups and downs, and some wobbles, but I think that comes from us as well. Everyone's had a
wobble. If you don't mind, Laura, what's a wobble? I know, give an example of a wobble.
I think for me, it's just not feeling excited. It's feeling guilty. It's feeling guilty of moving away. And I think for me, for my parents, because my sister lives abroad, there's just the two of us. So she already lives abroad, but she's only in France at least. And now I'm moving abroad, but really far away. So there's guilt there. And I've got one of my nans still, so there's guilt there. And I don't know if that will go away as such, but I just keep trying to say to people, like, well, you're going to have some sick holidays with us, so, you know, come over and enjoy it. And it's not like we're never going to come back to the UK, and I'm always just like, we're only ever a flight away. If we need to get back, we'll always make sure we've got that emergency fund to be able to do it. So I think it's the guilt for me, the guilt of
have you tackled it? Obviously, you know, you can say, yeah, I can fly back, but in your own mind, like, you know, if you could do things differently, or maybe, you know, I guess for people listening, you know, a bit of advice. I mean, you're in this journey right now, you're living it right now. Would you have done something a little bit different when it comes to like a relative or saying goodbye to someone?
No, I don't think so. I think it just kind of is what it is. You know, we're going, and we want to go, and we're really happy to be going. And it's just the other side of it is also hard to do that. And I think you just got to ride it, and you got to allow people to feel however they feel and react however they react. And you know, we're fortunate that everyone's, you know, kind of on board with it generally, and excited for us as well. So I think you just got to roll with it, really.
You'll find you'll move to a world of technology. And that time, if you mentioned you got a grandparent still around, and, you know, maybe because you're living in the same town, maybe country, whatever, right, you might see them face to face, but you'd be surprised how quick they adapt to watching you on a screen as well. And it just becomes the norm. I know my kids just walk around the house with myself or my partner's phone, just talking to the grandparents. Just, you know, privacy just goes out the window when you have a 2-year-old walking around the house with a phone. But they just get used to it, and it becomes sort of the norm. I hope that gives you a little bit of comfort, but that's generally what will happen.
Yeah, I think we've got an old iPad that we're going to stick a SIM card in and give to my nan, who's never had a smartphone or anything before, and just be like, this is FaceTime. The only thing you'll have to do is just accept the call, and then we'll be able to talk to each other. And yeah, hopefully she can get on board with that, because everyone else has got smartphones. It's only really my nan. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, we've done it before. We like to travel a lot anyway, and so do our parents, really. You know, everyone's away for a decent amount of time when they go on holiday, and you just kind of, you just make it work. It just becomes a different kind of way of communicating. So I'm not too worried about that. It will just be strange for a little while.
Yeah, we'll find out routine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you will. You just, I think anyone who's got the guts to make the move. I mean, lots of people talk about making the move, but it's actually having the guts to get through it. And it's gutsy. I'm so bored of saying the same things, but I generally believe it. The emotional side of migration is what us as a business really want to focus on, because I think that's more challenging than a skills assessment and everything. And you're kind of at this journey now where, you got the flight ahead of you, but then you've got this whole excitement of getting the SIM cards. I know that sounds boring, but that's just what you do, because then you're contactable. So you live that little bit of period where you're like, oh my God, I'm uncontactable, aren't I? I actually don't. No one can contact me now. I've got no internet, got no phone. They're little things you sort of take, well, I guess, I wouldn't say take for granted, but you're going to have a period of time when you're not that, but you want to be that. So you've got to get that. Then that excitement of, hey, I'm back now. People can contact me. I can be speaking with people, getting your house sorted, your bank account and all that sorted. And then before you know it, you're here. You're settled.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Like, it's nuts. I just find that part so crazy. It probably overspan that, but I reckon that's just like so good when you get here and it's that little fresh start, like a new beginning. What do you think, Tom? You reckon that's fair, mate? Are you looking for that sort of new, like the new chapter, and looking at a bit exciting rather than being daunting, but it's exciting? What's ahead?
Yeah, definitely. I think, we've been so wrapped up in kind of sorting ourselves out and selling things we don't need and making sure we see people and saying bye to people. We haven't actually built ourselves up to the excitement of that kind of fresh start. So it's going to really hit us when we get there. But, we glimpse of like excitement as closer as it gets to kind of Saturday. But yeah, now I'm like applying for jobs and kind of looking what's out there. Just really keen to kind of.
Is there much out there, Tom?
There's loads. Yeah, literally. Like every day on Seek, there's another kind of dozen jobs out there in IT. It's pretty booming, I think, at the minute. it's not slowing down. Spoke to a few recruiters as well, and they're just like, yeah, there's a lot out here. Like, yeah, I'm not worried. Hopefully, touch wood, but yeah, should be some good opportunities out there. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, no, it sounds exciting. So, guys, any advice you'd like to give someone who's thinking about making the journey?
I think just go for it. Especially if you've been out to Australia already and you've seen it and you like it, and there's so much information out there as well to kind of confirm confirm a little bit more whether you think it's for you or not. But I think just go for it. And everyone's only got one life, haven't you? So if you think you might really want to do it, then just do it. And I always say to people, we're going to give it a good crack and everything, and we're fully expecting for it to be a one-way thing. But if it doesn't work out, you can always move back. But at least then you know you've given it a go and you found out for yourself. So yeah, I think just go for it and talk to you guys. Like, your information and your knowledge has been invaluable, and the amount of probably stupid questions we've pinged over the last 3 years, and you know, it all helps to put it all together. So yeah, I think just go for it if you want to do it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, if you don't go for it, you're not going to get there, because it is a long journey. I mean, obviously you got the employer-sponsored visas. Did you guys ever consider doing the employer-sponsored visa, or you always wanted to arrive on a PR?
No, we didn't really look into it. I think we probably spoke to Jenny, and she said, well, you can get the PR and then you're not tied to an employer. So, you know, it's easier, or it offers better flexibility, and we have that option. And not that the other option's not a good option, but this is like a better one for us. So yeah, we didn't look into it at all, really. We just went down the PR visa and yeah, just rode it out until we got it, really.
Yeah, it is. It's well, that's what it is. It's just riding that long thing out. All right, let's do a little bit of a quick fire round, guys. All right, I've never done this before, and I'm sort of making it up as I go along. All right, so we'll start with you, Tom. All right, and then Laura, you can do the second answer. All right.
Yep.
All right, cool. Worst part of the process?
Worst part of the process? The amount of time it's taken.
Yep, Laura?
Yeah, the same. The waiting, I got way too obsessed with trying to find patterns in things, and it was painful.
Most enjoy, what you've enjoyed the most about the process so far?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Oh, obviously getting our visa grant was obviously the cherry on the cake, definitely. And that finally come through, the elation. It's just it was good times.
And for me, it's also been kind of talking to other people as well. Like, I made a couple of friends through the Facebook group, which has been really nice, and they're out in Brisbane. So hopefully got a couple of people that can actually put some faces to names and everything when we get out there.
And you can name drop them. They won't listen if they're already out there. Who is it?
I've been speaking with one lady called Louise, because her other half was in IT as well. So that was really nice. Same kind of industry.
Yeah, it's funny because we migrated them. Like, it's cool. Like, it's nice to see who you're going to hang out with. You know, what sort of mates you're going to have and everything like that. All right, cool. So keep going back to the first thing that the first drink you're going to have, Tom. You're going to have a beer. You're going to have what are you going to do to celebrate when you arrive, mate?
Stone and Wood Pacific Ale, 100%.
There you go, Laura. You got one?
Yep, same. I love a beer.
There you go. First holiday you're going to go on, guys? You've thought about that?
Ooh, we want to do Japan, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
Japan.
We'll rephrase the question. First holiday in Australia.
Ooh, I think we've got to go to Sydney. Just down to Sydney, get off that train, get off at Circular Quay, and just you're in Australia when you see that view of the Opera House and the bridge, and that's when it would be like, wow, we're here.
Yeah. Yep. Same. Yep.
Cool, all the ferries out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing beats a holiday and all that. Oh, guys, look, what I want to do is I really want to catch up with you guys, in 6 months or a year, and and see how it was and how it is. And I'm just so grateful you can make the time 48 hours before you jump on a flight to sort of share your experience to date, because it is, it is worth a listen, and it is, it's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really exciting. It is 2 days' time.
Is there anything that you guys would like to add before we close out?
No, I guess just thank you to you guys, and especially to Jenny, because I've emailed her 4,000 times in the last 3 years. But yeah, no, it's really grateful for you guys, because we would never be able to do it. And you're so approachable, and it's such a welcoming community. We did speak to other migration agents before, and they just didn't get back to us, or they wanted to charge loads and everything. And it's been such a good experience with you guys. So yeah, thank you so much for helping us get there.
No, you're so welcome, guys. Look, we love what we do, so that's fine. All right, guys. Well, look, we wish you all the best from all your friends in the Down Under Centre and all that. Safe travels, and Laura and Tom, go kick some ass out in Oz, in Brisbane.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Catch you on the next one.
Thanks.